When you hear the phrase winter arc, you probably start picturing that one TikTok you saw of that guy in the gym with an overly dramatic caption about wanting to prove his ex-girlfriend wrong after she broke his heart in primary school. It all kind of just makes it seem a bit cringe. But just humor me for a second. What if I told you this winter arc challenge had a ton of potential for helping you reach your goals, if approached the right way? Take research on weight loss strategies, for example. It seems to be that those who try and lose weight alone often struggle with a lack of motivation and social support. But on the flip side, those who lose weight as part of a group tend to succeed because of the encouragement, accountability, and social structures that come with being part of a group. And personally, this is where I think the Winter Arc Challenge really shines. It's a challenge that gives you clear goals as well as a 90-day timeline to keep you organized and focused on your goal, whilst also sharing the journey with other people at the same time to keep you motivated. So maybe this whole Winter Arc idea isn't so cringe after all and might just be the turning point in your fitness journey. So how exactly can we use this winter arc to our advantage? In order to really transform your life in 90 days, I'm not just talking any quick fix here. We need to have some clear goals in place from the outset. Now, I know we all want to have abs, a big bunda, and to be able to run an ultra marathon, but realistically, we can't do all three things at once, no matter how hard we do try. To find some success in this challenge, you're gonna need to pick goals that are challenging to keep you interested, but not so challenging that you can't actually achieve them within the 90-day period. So I want you to start by setting yourself 3 main goals. 1 for your mental health and 2 for your physical health. When you think about what goals to set during a body transformation, it is so easy to just hyperfixate on certain physical goals. But if we're truly aiming to transform ourselves in the next 90 days, you really need to start by changing the way you are thinking. No matter what you look like by the end of this challenge, you'll never be able to appreciate your progress if you're stuck in a cycle of self-criticism and unrealistic expectations. I mean, let's face it, how many times have you thrown away your entire fitness journey just because you weren't perfect or you had fallen off track? In reality, it wasn't that one workout you missed or those calories that you overate on one day that led to you not reaching your fitness goals. It was your all or nothing mindset towards health and fitness. So before you change a single thing, you need to reframe your mindset towards food and exercise. You're not cheating for eating a certain food and you're not off track for missing one workout. Food is food, not a person you can betray, and exercise is a privilege, not a punishment. So attaching morality to these things is only going to lead to you giving up when you feel like you've failed. And the truth is, you can't fail a lifestyle. It's not about being perfect every single day, it's about showing up more often than not. It's about learning through the tough moments and staying committed to the bigger picture of long-term growth and well-being. So I want you to set one clear mental goal for yourself during this challenge. For example, you could try meditation to become more mindful with the way that you're speaking about yourself. You could try yoga to reconnect with your body, or journaling to reflect on your progress and reframe your negative self-talk. One super helpful app that I have been using for the past few months that covers all of this is Aura. And yes, they are sponsoring today's video, but I do genuinely just love the app. Aura is completely personalized and you can tailor all the content to just use what works for you. I have my email notifications on for them, and at 5 o'clock or even 3 o'clock every single morning, they send you out your daily little mindfulness session for the day. It's only 5 to 10 minutes and can be anything from a breathing exercise to some positive words of affirmation or even some very needed life coaching. And it might not sound like a lot, but even these short little sessions can completely change the entire trajectory of your day. So if you guys are interested in trying it out, I will leave a link for the app in the top link of my description. You can try it for completely free, and the first 500 people who sign up using that link will also get 25% off any subscription that they sign up to. And I really do recommend the app if you're looking for something that's all in one to help with your mental health and mindfulness on a daily basis. Now, in order to transform your physical health, we need to first have 2 main goals. One for your nutrition and then one for exercise. Let's first start with what is most important here, and that is your nutrition. And before you start on any random diet that you have seen online, we first need to pick what your main goal is. Do you want to lose fat, gain muscle, or even maybe do both at the same time? I'm going to break down all 3 of these goals and how to achieve them pretty briefly, but I will pop some timestamps up here so you can skip to them and you don't have to hear me yapping if you don't want to sit through that. First, let's start with fat loss. If your goal is to lose fat, then your main focus throughout the entire 90 days is just to expend more energy than you consume on a daily basis. And the easiest way to place yourself in an energy deficit is to find your maintenance calories and then subtract anywhere between 500 to 700 calories from that number. And this should have you losing anywhere between 1 and 1.5 pounds or half to 1 whole kilo a week, which is within the healthy and suggested range for weight loss. But the exact deficit that you're striving for will depend on how much muscle mass you have, your current activity level, or your starting body recomposition. I go into this in much more detail in a video I've already posted on my channel, which I'll pop in my description for anyone interested, but to make this super easy, I would recommend aiming for a deficit around the lower end of this range in order to make this sustainable and a much less restrictive approach towards this goal, so it's something that you can actually maintain in the long run. Now, if your goal is to maximize muscle gain, you have two main options. Firstly, eat your maintenance calories while prioritizing a high protein intake, so around 0.8 grams to 1 gram per pound of your body weight each day, or eat in a slight surplus, which personally I would recommend if you're trying to maximize muscle growth here. The size of your surplus, however, is very important and will depend on your training experience. For example, inexperienced lifters or newbie lifters have a much greater potential for muscle growth because they've never worked out in the gym before, so they can often handle more aggressive surpluses and turn most of that energy from the surplus into muscle growth. But on the other hand, more experienced lifters, those of you who are closer to your genetic limit on muscle building, which is probably a very, very small percentage of you, you can only get away with a very slight surplus if you're aiming to maximize muscle gain while minimizing your fat gain. For this reason, if you're in the category of people who needs to do a more moderate bulk, you should be aiming to eat only around 5 to 10% above your maintenance calories. Now, both of these recommendations are very small, or smaller than some of the other recommendations you may have seen online, but really bulking beyond this point is a waste of time because you're just going to gain a disproportionate amount of fat to muscle. You really can't build muscle that quickly, so it doesn't make sense to go into these really crazy aggressive surpluses. Unfortunately, speaking from experience, I will never be able to look at nuts and more peanut butter ever again after I ate 2 jars in the space of 2 days. These again are just recommendations based on research I have read, but it is really important to take these numbers with a grain of salt to guide your initial journey and then monitor your own body and how you're responding to those surpluses. Your main goal should be to gain around 0.1 to 0.25% of your body weight on a weekly basis, and if you're gaining more than that, then you may need to pull the calories back a little bit and less, push them up a little bit. But if you're on the fence and kind of want to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, then it is possible under a certain few circumstances, such as for those of you who have higher body fat percentages, because you can use your stored energy in order to fuel the muscle building process while simultaneously losing fat. And also newer lifters, or those of you who have taken a training break and are detrained and coming back to lifting, because you are ultra responsive to resistance training and muscle growth by having those newbie gains. Small deficits of around 200 to 300 calories each day are the most effective for body recomposition, as research has shown that deficits over 500 calories may blunt hypertrophy and make it harder to build muscle while losing fat. So your main aim here should be to be in a slight calorie deficit, if not at maintenance, while prioritizing a high protein intake of around 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But of course, this goal would be impossible without resistance training, which we will cover in just a second. But firstly, no matter what your main nutrition goal is, you should really be prioritizing eating whole single ingredient foods throughout this entire 90-day journey. Because not only will this help you in your initial physical goal, but also improve your digestion, improve your mood, and your overall well-being. Really focus on adding nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins into your diet. And while the occasional less nutritious food is completely fine, minimizing your excessive sugar intake can help reduce inflammation and also make sticking to your goals much easier without these peaks and crashes throughout the day. Now, moving on to exercising, weightlifting is arguably the best way to transform your body. However, just going to the gym is not enough. Muscle building comes from lifting weights, and a surefire way to know that you're actually building muscle is to implement a strategy called progressive overload into your training, which essentially is just the process of increasing the load on your lifts over time, so increasing your reps or your weight within a given set. Pair this overload with a structured training routine that targets each muscle group twice a week, with 4 to 6 exercises per session, focusing on 1 to 3 exercises per muscle group in a given session. I actually have some plans already pre-designed that are available on my website that I will link in my description for those who are interested, but some basic examples of a structured workout routine would include an upper-lower split, a full body split, or more lower body focus splits, or upper body focus splits. However, if your main goal is just to improve your physical fitness, then getting in some daily movement may be the only thing that you need. This could be anything from aiming to get an extra 3,000 to 5,000 steps in every single day, or running for 10 minutes a few times a week, and then gradually increasing this to 20 minutes or 30 minutes as the week weeks go on. Honestly, the specific activity that you choose matters much less than just showing up on a consistent basis. Now, visualizing and planning your goals is only the starting point to this transformation. The real transformation happens when you actually take action. But how do we make sure that we not only take action, but stay consistent with those actions throughout the 90-day period? Routines. When you create routines with set actions that align with your goals, you take the guesswork and the thinking out of your entire day. A great place to start here is by looking at your morning routine and seeing where you can add actions that support your goals. For example, if your goal is to hit 10,000 steps every single day, then you could make a part of your morning routine to walk for an hour or even just 10 minutes before your breakfast. While waking up earlier might feel challenging at first, it soon becomes second nature. And over time, this habit will become automatic, so it just will be something you do without even having to think about it.
We do it rain or shine. We do it rain or shine.
Or if your goal is to get in one workout a day, then give yourself a scheduled time to work out and stick to that time on a daily basis. The key, honestly, is just to make these actions part of your daily routine. And once they're ingrained into a part of your daily life, staying consistent with these goals becomes much easier because you're just living life, not trying to reach a certain goal. If you guys are planning to take part in this challenge, please let me know down below and we can all share our goals and keep each other accountable. If you want to see any more videos in this transformation series, please also let me know down below and like and subscribe while you're down there to join us Pookies. Thank you guys so much for watching and hopefully I will catch you in my next one.